Incredibly successful and wonderful, wonderful people and leaders. Let me start off first with Becky Brossett. Becky is currently an 8-star diamond coach from Miami, Florida. She's a huge Heat fan, which I don't like that much, but we still like her a ton. She joined Beachbody She joined Beachbody in 2010. Last year she became a 2012 elite coach. Finished the year in the top 20. She has 29 consecutive months in Success Club and is also a Success Club 10 All-Star. She earned the 2013 Success Club Conference and Celebration at Disney World also. Barbie Decker is currently an 11-star diamond coach. She's serving on our coach advisory board. She has been an elite coach, get this, for 4 straight years. 2012, 2011, 2010, 2009. She joined Team Beachbody in September of 2007, earned the Elite 10 trip in 2010 and 2011 to France and Tahiti. And Barbie has been a part of Success Club for 38 consecutive months, and she is also a part of Success Club 5 All-Stars. So that's the business side of what these two have been able to accomplish. I want to also just share with you quickly a little bit about their personal side. I've had the opportunity to work fairly closely with Becky over the past year. Absolutely an incredible leader. I don't know a leader in the network that is more focused and more driven than her. She was 1-star at Summit last year. She's advanced to 8-star. You'll hear her name over the next couple of weeks. She'll continue to grow and advance. An absolutely incredible leader. Her income, we were just talking behind stage, she thinks her income has increased by over 300% just from last summit. So you guys that are here today, make a decision, for crying out loud. We've had an incredible summit. You have the choice to continue life as maybe how it has been the last year and maybe have some dreams go unfulfilled, or you can take to heart her message and what she's been able to do over the past year and completely change her life. What she's been able to do for her family, what she's been able to do for her kids, and we think in the next little bit, her being able to spend more time with her kids and being home full time is going to be an incredible thing. And it's been a blast to watch her grow. It's been a blast to watch her business just completely take off. She's an absolutely incredible person. Barbie Decker, I always call her Dr. D. She is one of the very first coaches that I met when I joined Beachbody. So I was nervous a little bit about what I was going to be doing in my role, nervous about some of the coaches that I was going to be working with. Had a chance to cross paths with her and absolutely fell in love with her and who she was as a person and who she was in terms of a leader. What you see is what you get with Barbie. She is very honest, very upfront, very open, but has an incredibly warm heart for everybody on her team, for people's success at Beachbody. She's a dear friend to me and has been an absolute incredible mentor for me to check in with every now and then over the past couple of years. Again, another leader that I have a ton of respect for. So please give me a very loud and warm welcome to 2 incredible coaches. You guys are in for a real treat. Please help me welcome to the stage Becky Brossett and Barbie Decker.
Hello, everybody. You guys having a good time? So, like Jeremy said, my name is Becky Brossett. My team knows me as the Queen Bee. I'm all the way from Miami, Florida. I've been a coach about 3 years. I'm married. I have 2 wonderful sons, and I still work full time. And just so you know, I'm retiring next week. And that was I started 5 years ago, signed up as a coach, and almost 3 years ago, and it's changed my life forever. It's made me a stronger person. Being up here is one of my greatest fears, and here I am. It's made me more positive and just a belief in something more for life. Sorry, I get emotional. I'm super honored to be here and to share the stage with Barbie because she's like a role model to me. So. And my team were really good at crying.
I don't know, do you feel the energy today is different than yesterday? Yesterday was like peace and love, and today I feel you guys like whoosh. So give us some love. Give us some love. Very quickly with the introduction, I never meant to make a business out of this. Since 2007, I had just gotten divorced. I lost my father. I was at Target trying on a dress. I realized I was fat. I bumped into my ex-husband with his skinny girlfriend. She had just picked up P90X. I bought it. Then I started listening to Six. I lost the weight. I was on the message boards stalking people just because I was so inspired by them that I didn't dare to post.
I use this
I became a coach because I wanted to
know.
help people and because it was cheaper than Match.com and I wasn't ready to date. And I put my coaching fee on a credit card because I could not afford the $39.99 to join. And this last year in July, I hit the Millionaire Club.
Thank you, Barbie. You're awesome. And I love you. And I love her. So we're here today to discuss leadership. What is leadership? I want to ask you a question. By a show of hands, do you feel that you are a leader?
Be honest.
Be honest.
Put your hand down if you kind of just did it. To please us.
Okay. If you did not raise your hand, the moment you signed up as a coach, you took on the role of a leader. We're here to lead a team, an organization, an area like we do in South Florida. Leadership is defined as the act of leading a group. You need to really believe in that and believe in yourself and your vision and your passion for the business. And you need to believe in Beachbody. We're here today to discuss different attributes that you need to really embrace, like Barbie's going to talk about the passion, your vision for the future, and how you translate that down to your team. They need to believe in themselves, but they need to believe in the vision of the team. How does personal development play into that? Very, very important. And you need to commit to that. And then finally, events. That's how you're going to step into, put your foot forward, and lead, start leading in your area. So Barbie,
Take it away.
take it away.
Thank you, Becky.
You know what? Problem. We don't have a keyboard.
We need a clicker. For the
Hold on, I'll
slides.
be right back.
It's okay. I will begin speaking anyway.
Battery only lasts about an hour and I got 3 hours of film.
Sorry.
Hey, see, you don't have to be perfect to lead one of these workshops. So I was walking. Stacey, are you here? You better be. All right. I was walking down the hallway and I was actually thinking of Stacey. So Stacey today got recognized as a Star Diamond coach, and she was with her coach, who said, "You're going to be recognized on stage." She's like, "No, not me." She's like, "Why would I?" She's like, "Well, I don't see myself as a leader." And I was on my way here. And my question to Stacey, and I'm not picking on Stacey, I'm not singling her out. My question is really to everyone else. Because I know a lot of you raised your hand, but the question is still the same. What's it going to take for you to consider yourself a leader? Stacey was recognized on stage for being a 2-star diamond coach. What's it going to take for you to see yourself as a leader? If you wait until you're a diamond coach, a star diamond coach, until you're making $300 a week, a month, $100,000, before you can consider yourself a leader, you're going to be missing the mindset that got the leaders or the people that you're seeing being recognized on stage. Get that? You must believe that you are a leader now. So that's why, if you go back on the other slide, you must repeat this to yourself. I activities that we're going to be speaking about today. Please write this down, and actually John Maxwell spoke about it, and I got this from John Maxwell months ago. Leadership is learned in the trenches. It is a long-term process. Leadership is learned in the trenches. It is a long-term process. When I signed up as a coach in 2007, I was not the person that you see up here on stage. My friend Julie Schulte, I don't know if you're here, I think she's presenting soon, but she said that at the first event that I spoke, you couldn't understand a word I was saying. I was like this excited little bunny, just so excited about Beachbody, and she's like, all you saw was passion, but you couldn't actually understand anything that I said. And even though I was a professor already, I've been teaching for years, you become a leader in the process. It is a long-term process. When Josh Spencer, who's one of, do you guys know Josh? He's one of my personally sponsored coaches. When I met him, he was just a kid, 22 years old, sending me his resume so that I can give him feedback, so that he can get a job in financial advising. 3 years later, 2 years later, he was on stage as a man, accepting this speech as a top coach. That was a different person. I mean, I get goosebumps, and I tell Becky all the time, I get goosebumps when I'm speaking the truth. You become a leader. So you must see yourself as a leader now. Do not wait. Got that? Am I being strong right now? I feel like it's okay. Good. Oh. I'm going backwards. We're going forward. This is a forward kind of movement. Hold on. There we go. One of our roles as leaders is to share our vision and to help our coaches dream. This is the deal. Whatever we believe is contagious. That could be a good thing, and that could be a bad thing. You know how with Shakeology, if you believe that $4.20 is too much, how are you ever going to get your customers to buy into it? So, if your vision of what is possible or impossible with coaching is limited, that is what you're going to transfer to your team. That's why it's so important for you to check yourself and to ask yourself, what is it that I believe is possible with coaching? So, I'd like to do an activity with you, and it's just a fill in the blank. The first question is, what do I believe is possible with coaching? And the fill in the blank is this. I know that I can blank with coaching. I know that I can make a difference with coaching. I know that I can
Fire my boss.
I can fire my boss. I know that I can change lives. I know that I can support my family. I know that I can achieve greatness. I know that I can what? Motivate my team. I know that I can make $300 a month. That's enough for people to save their mortgage and not go into foreclosure. I know that I can make $1,000 a month. I know that I can start my own challenge group. That's kind of easy, right? The things that you know that you can do. Now let's get into your limiting beliefs. What do you believe is not possible? What are the things that get in your way? And again, I'm asking you to be honest with yourself. We have 20,000 or so negative thoughts that run through our mind every single day. Fact. I might be making the number up, but it's up there. That was funny, right? Sometimes I'm funny. I know I could never blank. Not all at once. I know I could never, and really be honest with me. know I could never pay off debt. I know that I could never be a leader, be in the millionaire club. I know that I could never, thank you for your honesty, I know that I could never sign up any coaches. So, I know that I could never be like Becky. I know that I could never be like Chris Palmer. I know that I could never be like Wayne Wyatt. I know that I could never be in the millionaire club. I know that I could never be an elite coach. I know that I could never make $1,000. I know that I could never, I mean, the list goes on, doesn't it? If your vision is limited, how are you going to inspire your team? You're here, you made sacrifices to be here. Raise your hand if you made sacrifices to be here. That gives me goosebumps. I know it's not, and it gives me goosebumps because I'm speaking the truth, because I feel you. Because I know that it was a sacrifice for you to find a babysitter, for you to leave your job, for you to pay for the plane ticket. Some of you are rooming with like 4 or 5 people. We've done it, I've been there. So if you have big dreams, and your limiting beliefs are huge and many, how are you going to achieve your vision? The theme of this summit is Dream Big. So you need to look at your limiting beliefs, and you need to ask yourself, do I need to expand my vision? And how do you do that? You do that by committing to personal development. We talk about the 3 vital behaviors all the time, right? Invite, be a product of the product, commit to personal development, 10 pages a day. We say it so much that it becomes trite. And so how many of you have been slacking, and again, be honest, with personal development? It's the first thing to go because you're so busy. And let me tell you that I'm here where I am because it's the first thing that I do every day. Anyone that spends time with me, they'll see me at home. Whenever I wake up, that's the first thing I do. I feed my mind. So I grew up super rich, silver spoon in my mouth. Everything in my life was perfect. So this is where I am. This is why I am where I am, right? No. I grew up on welfare. The cheese line, I remember it. And I'm not kidding. I remember my mom paying with food stamps and me going outside and asking her permission if I could go stand outside the supermarket so I wouldn't have to watch her pay with food stamps. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing because it's what's made me work so hard to become who I am. Despite my having a PhD in French literature, and why the heck French literature? It was because as a Latina woman, I wanted to be as far away from what I came from, and that makes me emotional. So I chose something so high and mighty to be so far away from what I came from. And so even though I had a PhD and I became a Beachbody coach, I thought that I could never make any money helping people. And so this is where, for me, personal development came in. I bought a book by chance, The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I read it, and to me that was an example of someone who was making millions helping other people, and something in me shifted. You want to grow, you must commit to your self-development. If you don't, and it is a continual process, John Maxwell said it today, he's 72, his dad is 92, 96, and he's thinking about satellite for the churches. He's forever growing. It's not a process that stops. If you stop your self-development, if you put it on the shelf, I love that picture, you're gonna hit a wall. And again, I keep talking about John Maxwell, and I had actually, when I prepared for this, I forgot that he was the speaker, but I feed on John Maxwell, Darren Hardy, Jim Rohn, constantly with self-development. John Maxwell said, a level 10 leader is not going to follow a level 5 leader. So let's say you've been a coach for a year or 2 years, and let's say, and it's okay, I don't know where you are, but let's say you're a level 2 leader right now, or a level 3 leader. A level 5 leader, a level 7 leader is not going to follow you. So how do we change that? You change it through self-development. You become the person that you want to attract. I'm only now attracting people that want to work the business. But again, that has been a long-term process. So if you commit to your self-development, I'm telling you that my success is made up of many, many tiny little failures. If I have 50 coaches in this room that are my coaches, I'm telling you there's probably 10 that told you that I didn't do a good job, maybe more. But that's okay, because I've tried my best and I've learned by doing. So commit to your self-development. Now we're getting to the fun stuff, accountability and mentorship. What does it mean to be accountable to someone? It means that someone has a responsibility to you for their activity. So why do you do this? What is the goal? The goal is for you to help them reach their goals. You're here, right now, you're being armed with information, with knowledge and with tools. You're here, the people that are not here, your coaches, your future coaches, have something to learn from you. I will admit to you that up until maybe a year and a half ago, I didn't like to connect with my coaches other than by email. I didn't get on the phone, or if I did, I was like, oh, you know? Because I think that the reason, it wasn't because I didn't care, I think it was because I didn't really know what to do. And so now I know what to do. I'm very structured. I have a system, and that's what I want to teach you today. When you're on the phone, when you're on Facebook, when you're on text message, when you're on Skype, there's a plan, and I'm going to share that plan with you so that you can get on, and that you also have a plan, and that you can help your coaches reach their goals. So don't feel like you have to write everything down, because we will make it happen. If anything, I'll just email you guys my notes. I have everything in notes, and we'll get you the PDF, because yesterday we had people like trying to write everything down. Don't worry about that. Creating accountability. So before we talk about the different forms of accountability, Skyping, text messaging, and all that stuff, we have to get to the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are, the first one is getting to your coach's why. What is it that they want? If I have a coach that tells me, and that's why I was actually thinking of Stacy when I bumped into the hallway, into her in the hallway. She was saying, from what I remember, that she wants to be able to buy a house or pay off a house. If a coach tells you, this is my dream, and if the activity that they're doing is not matching their dream, you can help them be accountable. You can call them out. People lovingly call my calling them out my Barbie smackdowns. Okay? And Stacy said to her coach Roxanne, well, that's usually what it's all about with Barbie, you know? But it's sort of true, right? Because I want my coach's success. But if I don't know, if you don't know what your coach wants, how can you help them achieve it? So ask, probe. I have a friend, Kathy Webster, who became a coach. She's a professor, she has 2 kids, super busy, involved in every possible activity, PTA, church, I don't know what. She could not care less about making money with Beachbody as a coach. She doesn't want to build a business, but whenever she sells a TurboFire Ultimate Reset pack and makes 20, 30 bucks, it's like she won the lottery and she's the happiest woman in the world. Awesome! I know her why. Her why is, this is fun. I just want to do it, and if I make a little bit of money, awesome. So if I went in there and said, you know, you got to do the coach boot camp, and you got to do this, and why aren't you on the team call? I'm going to lose my friend. So make sure that you know what it is that people want, your coaches want, so that you can help them reach their goals. Got it? Are you having fun? I just feel like I'm so intense today. Help your team dream. What would your ideal life look like? I'm going to skip that one, and we'll talk about it later if we get a chance. And then finally, consistently share your vision with the team and with individual coaches. Hillary Kelly, she's one of my dearest friends. She does an amazing, amazing job sharing her vision. just by posting pictures. And she's allowed me into her Facebook group, into her team group, and she's always talking about what is possible with coaching. So if you're a new coach, look up, look at me, look at Becky, look at your upline, see what they're doing and borrow our dreams for yourself and for your team. You know, my coach, Barbie, she quit her, she used to be a professor, she quit her job. My coach, or my friend's coach, or I know this woman, Becky, she's and she's gonna quit her job on Monday. But you need to be able to share this vision with your team individually, one-on-one conversations, and in Facebook groups, and to the world on Facebook and YouTube so that people can see. And you can help them dream. I'm so thirsty. So there are different forms of accountability, and I think we're only going to speak about a few of them today. So Facebook groups, Skype, we're going to skip telephone, in person. I don't build in person. I do everything online, and so this was one of my hesitations that because I build online, I just didn't want to talk to people, but that's such a mistake because it's through seeing people's faces, for example, in Skype, in talking to people that you connect with them. And so it was a mistake that I did for years. And now that I'm truly connecting on Skype, and I don't give a darn if people see that I haven't showered, that I look crazy, that my dogs are barking, who cares? That makes me more real. Like Jeremy Red was saying in the back, like, Barbie, you always look like this. I'm like, no, trust me, I don't. Like, this is a special occasion. Okie dokie. All right. Imagine, when I started, I had a few customers, a few coaches. I poured my heart and soul into people. If somebody wrote me an email that was this big, I would read it and respond with an email that was this big. If a coach wanted my time, no matter what, I was available. Then my team started growing. So imagine that I had a downline or you had a downline of a room full of 1,000 coaches. And everybody wants your time. What's going to happen if you try to give your time? You will so quickly burn out, and you will be no good to anyone. It happened to me in 2009. In the same week, I got 3 nasty emails from people telling me that I wasn't there for them, and that was the same time that I was trying to do team calls every single day on a different topic, all by myself. I was trying to be everything to everyone, and nothing. In fact, I was doing a horrible job, and I was like, I don't even know if I want to be a coach, because this was so frustrating. And so what I learned was that I need to follow what Darren Hardy talked about, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. 20% of the people in your organization are going to produce 80% of the results. So what does this mean? Does it mean that you ignore 80% of the people, that you don't train them, that you just focus on the people who are the drivers and they're doing this? That's not fair. So thank goodness for Facebook and Facebook groups. And I'm sure that there are other conferencing systems, but I personally love Facebook because it allows you to do the one to many model. And we'll look at it quickly, and again, we're going to get you these slides. So I love Facebook groups because they allow you to share of yourself with a large group of people. It's the same thing with the challenge groups. So if you have, let's say you just have 2 coaches. Okay, with 2 coaches, it's a little bit easy. I have a message for Melissa, and I have a message for Damaris. I'll send the same message for Damaris, and I'll send the same message to Melissa. Okay, but that's kind of wasting time when I could have a little Facebook group for my coaches. But what if you have 5 people? What if you have a group of 500, 5,000? Right? But what I love about Facebook groups is that it allows you, so you're the queen of what? The queen of events, the queen bee of events and stuff. I'm the queen of boot camps, okay? I have a boot camp, an Emerald boot camp. And it's the people that are participating in the challenge groups, the ones that are consistently posting, that are going to be the leaders. They're the ones that are going to be the coaches, right? Well, it's the same thing with coaches. If they're the ones that are participating in the group, that gives you a clue as to who you're going to spend your time with, right? So that's your 20%. Because if you're telling them, this is the homework, this is the Emerald Bootcamp, this is the Diamond Bootcamp, whatever kind of bootcamp that you have are running, and if they're not posting, it means that they're not matching your effort. So why are you going to pour your heart and soul and give all your energy to people that are not willing to give that energy back to you? And that is so important. Jim Rohn said it. Give your time to the people who deserve your time, not the people who need your time. There are a lot of needy people out there. And in the beginning, actually not even in the beginning, even now, I still sometimes struggle because I feel bad. I don't want to be a mean person. You know, I want to give my time, but my time is limited and I want to have balance. I want to have a life, and so I can't do that. And so I use Facebook groups and I see who's doing what so that I know I'm going to spend my time with this person. And then it talks about why Facebook groups are good for other people. I'm going to skip this slide. And again, you can take a picture, but again, I promise we will find a way to get you these slides. Promise. Okay, face-to-face conferencing, phone and in person. I will just say that I absolutely finally love Skype, only because I get to see people, they get to connect with me, and then people will tell you something, but then you'll see something else. And that's what I love, and that's what I've realized that I was missing. And again, stop making it about you. I don't look good today, or I look like a mess, whatever. Like, that will make you real, seriously. You can Skype me anytime you're gonna see how like crazy looking I look. Like, for real. Okay, some tips and guidelines. Actually, I was talking to a friend, and she's a top coach, and she said, Barbie, how do you deal with this? Like, how do you set boundaries, you know? So, the reason I didn't used to like to connect with people in person or through text messaging was because I realized I didn't really know what to do. So you have to have a plan. If you're gonna get on the phone, okay, there was someone that attended my session, who's Peter, who's in my downline, okay? I don't know him, but I see his activity, and he deserves my time. He's doing great. He texted me, he emailed me yesterday on Facebook. Oh, it happened again. I got stuck. No, I didn't get stuck. Yesterday I got stuck for like an hour and my heel was stuck in there. It was really funny. Okay. So anyway, so he messaged me on Facebook and he said, I would love to meet with you. Can you give me an hour of your time between now and Monday? And I said, LOL. Between now and Monday, nothing's going to happen. But I'll give you my time because he deserves my time. And I said, get in touch with me on Wednesday, write to me and tell me what you're doing, what's working for you, what's not working for you, and what you hope to get out of this meeting. And then I'll give you 30 minutes. He was like, okay, I'll have that to you by Monday within like an hour. He was like, so now I know in advance what he's doing, what he wants, how I can help. Get that? As opposed to just setting up a random call and then just being open and then like, okay, well, what are we going to talk about? Okay? So I'm going to read his email. I didn't have time today, but I just saw that he wrote a bunch of things. We're going to agree on the purpose of the call. I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to say, okay, Peter, we have 30 minutes to talk, or 45 minutes, and then I have to hop on another call, whether it's true or not. And then I'm gonna listen. Okay? And then I'm going to listen, because I think one of my problems before was that I talked too much, because I have so much to share. I have so much knowledge, right? But if you don't listen, if you're just busy prescribing, then how are you truly going to help? So listen, what are people really saying? So that together you can figure it out. And then finally, come up with a plan of action, homework. What is it that you are asking this person to do next week or in 2 weeks when you speak on the phone? results, and you are going to help them reach the next level. And finally, I love this, and then we're done with my little section. Text messaging. It's my very, very favorite thing. I like to do cardio on the bicycle or elliptical, and then I beast up. But I like to do so, it's kind of boring on the machine. I shouldn't be admitting all this stuff, right? Like, it's kind of boring to be like on the machine or cardio. So I actually use that time to text message and coach my coaches and mentor them, and it's the best invention ever. Why? How many of you text message? Everybody. Do you feel connected when you text message with your friends? We do. Now, we're little things. I use text message to encourage, to congratulate people, to help them dream, and I'm super blind, so I have to do what I did yesterday, and then that's it. I'm going to read you the text message, and this is Rosa. She was here yesterday. So this is what my text messages look like. So she's telling me her dreams, and I'm like, and girl, because that's how I talk, right? I'm like, and girl, it's going to multiply over and over again. It's possible to be making $10,000 a month for you in the next year. She's making $600 a month now, a week. I was like, I didn't start off building a business, but you did. She said, what? Seriously? I'm like, that's, and I did it on purpose. I'm like, that's only $2,500 a week, and you're already making $600. Like, does that feel like a big stretch for you? $600 to $2,500 a week? I think honestly, I mean, it does, right? But I know that this is possible. I know that my job is to help my coaches dream. I know this is possible, so I say this with confidence. And then she's like, only $2,500 a week. Smiley face. And I'm like, yeah, that's just 4 times more than what you're making now. And then I went back to doing my cardio, you know? And that's how I roll, you guys. That's what I do all the time through text messages. And so finally, I'm just going to tell you to set some guidelines. You set the hours of operation. This is the last thing, telling you choose a different form of accountability. You can ignore that slide, but you set the timeline. You decide when you're going to text message. If somebody texts me Saturday or Sunday, I ignore them, and on Monday I go back and say, hey, I got your message. I don't text on Saturdays and Sundays. I don't email Saturdays and Sundays. If somebody texts me inappropriate stuff about their girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, I ignore it. I decide what I want to talk about because I have a big team. And I'm not somebody's friend. I want to be a coach, and there's a difference. I want to be friendly. I care about my team, but I don't want to be everybody's BFF. I want them to grow, and I want them to reach their goals. So in a nutshell, choose your form of accountability. It's not about yourself. It's about your coaches. Help them get on the phone, get on Skype, get on text message. We will get you this information somehow, some way, and then get on it. So now my beautiful friend Becky is going to talk about hosting events, and then you're going to be a rock star leader.
Okay, so events. The more I think about this topic, and I've obviously been thinking about it for months now, the more I've come to the conclusion that the events is what's propelled my business forward since day one. They're important to build the camaraderie. Just think about the feeling that you're feeling today, being at Summit with all these coaches. Maybe you thought you're the only coach you've ever met except your sponsor and you're alone, but you're not. And that's how I felt when I first started, and I didn't know anybody in Miami that was a coach. I felt alone, and I went to a Super Saturday, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. So it changed the direction of my business. We've built a camaraderie regardless of upline, regardless of team. We are a community, and we all are a team, Beachbody. We're not just Barbie's team and my team. We have to unite and work together for the greater good of your vision and your team. Thank you. The great thing is you go to these events and you get to meet leaders and you get to ask them questions, and that's what helped me at the beginning. So I urge you, step out of your comfort zone. questions. Corporate trainings also, I went to one very early on, and I sat there listening to Julie Schulte, who had just been announced like a top 10 elite back then, and Jeffrey Armbruster, and I was like, wow, one day I'm gonna be up there. I see myself, as shy as I am, I still saw myself up there. And I did it because I worked hard and just continued every day to try to build the team, build it with passion, and people feel that on my team because we're all in Miami. Okay, so what types of events? We have from very private, we have the Shake and Share, the Shakeology Home Party, up to fit clubs, Super Saturdays, Summit, but where I started, the grassroots of my business was the Shakeology Home Party. That's what we called it back then. I did one right away within 3 months, because I felt, I'm gonna say we a lot, that's me and my sister, we felt that we needed to get in front of people. And in my area, nobody knew about Shakeology at that point, it was really new, and we wanted to be able to share our stories. And we feel that behind all of these events, it's the stories that people want to hear. We all cry when we hear all these amazing stories. That's what we were there to tell our story, my cousin's story. People felt the passion. They could see that the Shakeology was working for us, that P90X worked for me. And that event really kickstarted. It gave us traction. It meant everything to us. So how did we do it? We kind of just invented our own thing. We had no idea what we were doing. We just picked the time, picked the place. My sister's house invited a bunch of people, over-invited, because only 25% of the people go. Had a wonderful event, really friendly, a mingle hour. We got to share our stories. We watched the video, answered questions, but then we got to make Shakeology. And that's what people wanted to see. They wanted to taste it. They wanted to know what it was all about.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you move from the mingling, the making Shakeology, to making a sale or just signing up coaches?
Well, during these people were already interested, So, well, of course we're smart. We have our laptops right there, so we're like, gently move to the
Girl, I've
laptop.
been a failure with this Shake and Shake.
Let's place your order now. No, I'm just kidding. But it worked. It was adding the value, showing them that it works. People felt our passion. They could tell that we were happy, that we were thriving, that the products worked. We watched I think it's the breakthrough video that breaks down Shakeology and the science behind it. They knew that what we were saying, they could tell it worked. We also shed a few tears, which works too.
But they're real tears.
Yeah, they are real. Tears are always real. I urge you to do it. I have an idea for you. We have the cup coming up. Is everyone starting a team? Get on a team. We'll have an idea for you. Set up a home party. If 5 people set up a home party during July, you can gain some traction there. So do it, commit to it. Before you leave, write down the date when you're gonna do your first Shakeology home party. And just do it. If you're afraid to speak in front of people, like I was and still am, just get together with a friend. Try it out. Do it together. There isn't any regimented way of doing it. Just be a leader, step up, and share. Just share. You don't have a story yet? Borrow mine. Borrow someone on your team. Borrow your upline sponsor's story. Make it powerful and add the personal touch. That's what people want. They want to talk to you. They want to see the passion in your eyes. They want to see your confidence in the product, your belief in the product. Now, this is what I love, are the Super Saturdays. I attended the very first Super Saturday and opened my eyes to that this was real, like this company was real. The second one, I told my sister, we're doing it. For our team, we have to. I was a diamond then and still terrified of public speaking, but I'm gonna do it. Little did I know that they put my information on the Beachbody website and 35 people showed up at my house from all over South Florida. It was a great event, but that event marked the start of my sister, my journey as leaders. We were opening the doors for other people. We got together. We built this camaraderie with a lot of people that we're still friends with. Some we're still friends because we've grown together. We were little baby coaches, and now we've grown, and now we have these big events. It's awesome.
So you said that it really opened your eyes, the first Super Saturday event, that it was real live.
Because at that point, I really didn't know any other coaches in Miami, and I went to the Brazan's business, which they have a business, and I was like, whoa, there's other people in Miami. This is so cool. And now we have these presentations, and there's the Atlantis trip back then, and we committed. My sister and I said, we're gonna be on that trip no matter what. We're gonna commit to Success Club, and we're gonna get on that trip. That Super Saturday made it real for me. It completely solidified that I knew that I wanted to do this. Now, what we've done in Miami since our event started as 35 people, but now we've continued with, we have, some have failed, some have been awesome. Now they're 200 plus people. So it's hard for one person to plan an event that large. We created a council, with Jeremy's help actually. And the leaders in South Florida area, we get together through Facebook, we have calls, and we work together to plan events. It's been what's propelled our business as far as events. It's propelled it forward because of the teamwork and the effort that goes into planning these events. So where do we go from now? I say you decide and you commit and you host one. You definitely need to be at one next week. Commit to September, commit to January, but do it. Just find a location, whether you have 2 people coming or you have 50. Just do it. It's gonna be your first step up as a leader. Beachbody gives you all the materials. All you need to do is prepare. If you're trying to build a big event like we do, we use our teams to go, please promote. Bring the people. We open events on Facebook, and we're constantly sharing the link. Bring more guests. Let's go. Let's make this event bigger. And Eventbrite is awesome.
So how do you mind that I ask a question?
No.
How do you, so you host a Super Saturday event, and I know that a lot of times you guys sponsor new coaches.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go from there to there? So Super Saturday event, and then new coach. How does that
Well,
work?
usually they come in and they feel the energy, and and they're like, oh, we want to be part of this.
Okay.
We make it high energy, positivity, welcoming. And here's something I just wanted to mention. We talked about this yesterday. I've heard from other members on my team who don't live in South Florida that they've gone to events where the host has not been so welcoming. Please don't do that. You have guests coming here. First impressions could change somebody's mind. Someone could come there super excited about Beachbody and totally be turned off. That's not the spirit of this company. We're friends here. We're a team. Help build this person up. Share passion, but be friendly. Very, very important. So this is how we make it fun in Miami. It's always a party in Miami. We have themed events. This was our April Super Saturday, and we had Neon Invasion. Thanks to Monica, she's sitting there. It was her idea. Everyone came dressed in neon. The energy was amazing. And this is just half the people that stayed after the workout.
Wow.
It was a blast. We had music, and we had balloons, and we have a step and repeat so people could take pictures. We've had Carl Deichler in February, which that basically was a dream come true for me and my sister, because we said to ourselves, one day we're going to bring corporate here, and we're going to put Miami on the map, and we did that. He came to see what we were doing. It was an amazing event. We even had a success wall. People brought their before and after pictures.
I love that.
And we had everybody pasted it on the wall, and we took pictures in front of it. It was just such a celebration of how far we've come. You can do this. You just have to want it. You have to commit to it today to build.
You're so awesome.
Thank you.
Like I feel your energy and your passion.
Like I love these events. They've totally changed everything. And I have a big local team because of this. Because they come to our events and it's like infectious, and My sister is like great public speaker, and they feel our energy and they just want to be a part of it.
I like hate doing shit in public, you know? So I'm listening to you and I'm just like, I want to be a part of that.
I'm formally inviting Barbie to January's the big one. So
I think I already accepted, now I'm scared.
yeah, she forgot that she accepted yesterday. So that's a picture of some of our members of the local council with Jeremy Red that help us plan the events. It's a great team. I mean, I can't say enough about these people. See, that's one of the cool things that we do. That was also Monica's idea. We have the step and repeat, and then we have those cool glasses, and everybody gets to take cool pictures in front of the step and repeat. We've had professional photographers, DJs. I mean, it's a party.
So who pays for this stuff?
Well, we charge for the event for coaches, but we always have enough money to pay for the room and the food and everything.
That's awesome.
We have one person, it's usually Marissa, she's over there, that keeps track of the money and then pays all the people. Oh, we got it down pat. Another thing, if you build it, they will come. Obviously, it took us 2 years to get to this point. Didn't happen overnight, but we stepped out of our comfort zone after the September last year, and we said we gotta bring January, we gotta blow this up. We're going to have corporate here. They didn't know that yet, but we hadn't asked yet. But they sent Jeff Hill, and Hillary Kelly had just moved to Florida, so we invited her, and she came. We invited Ali Upham, and she came. She's come twice. It's because they feel our energy and they want to be a part of it. So do it. Everyone can do it. We're not doing anything special. Just be creative. Step out of the box. Yeah. No, yeah, we keep it and we keep reusing it. Yeah. We also donated once to Carl's, the charity he has for the water. We did that once, but then now our events are getting so big that we need the pot of money there so that we can continue renting the rooms. And
So the market council really does sound like
it's like a whole other little business there with leadership. Right?
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's working for us. And this year, actually, we just found out today when we saw it on the slide that we're hosting a time management thing. We're like, okay, we better get to work. So, now you're a leader. What I say is write down today on your notepad, I'm going to host Super Saturday in September, and do it. Whether it's 2 people in your family room or 25 people in the condominium space there, rec room, just do it. It's worth it. You're gonna build a foundation for your local team, and that's what you want. Just band together with other people, regardless of organization. It's important that you feel that energy.